All right, so this is a suggestion via Discord. The name of the video is Gen Z Watching a Recession. This is coming from the channel Gilbert Void. Let's just see where this takes us, guys. All right. Uh, I see a couple of things, that are a little interesting. I'm not even sure the information that we're going to gather here is going to be coherent. I'm guessing. But and then Gen Z also. Let's go. Let's. See. I'm a hater, guys, by default. Specifically with a good amount of this generation. But let's go ahead and see where this takes us, guys.
You're being gaslit. Your Gen Z should care about a stock market crash at all. If you're young and you care, you're a moron. You're being gaslit by boomers. At a certain point, you have to realize the growth of the stock market, the performance of index funds has very little to do with the prosperance of the people, especially young people.
Who are the
people? I couldn't care less that the stock market is falling. In fact, I'm happy. When I see red on the S&P, I jump in the air and shout for glee. Retail owns a very small minority of any publicly traded company. The rest are asset managers, banks, and other massive corporations. It's a corporate oligarchy. It's a separate financial class. Young people can't afford to save for an emergency, let alone invest. You say, well, I have a 401k. I occasionally put in a Roth IRA, something like this. Doesn't matter because you won't withdraw that for another 30 plus years anyway. So that should...
Okay, so like exactly as I figured as we were entering into the video itself, Gen Z is basically this generation where there are a gigantic amount of people, specifically outside of Gen Z, right, who look at Gen Z as a Gen Z of I want everything right now, no matter what, right? They grew up on the internet, and so like their whole idea and social media, and they see the people that are succeeding, and they just immediately are like, I don't want to work for this. I want it now, right? And in terms of IRAs and Roth IRAs and SEP IRAs, et cetera, like, so he says that it doesn't matter to anyone. Listen, my Gen Alpha son already has a Roth IRA. My Gen Z daughter also already has a Roth IRA. Okay, so I hear what you're saying, bro, but like if you weren't raised to understand what these things were, then I could imagine how when you do go to work and you have like 50 or like $30 extra or so, you decide to put it elsewhere rather than your literal future, right? So I hear what you're saying. You just want everything right now instead of actually allowing things to for the most part grow and compound.
Shouldn't matter to you if you're taking spot positions or you're trading, you're calling the market. That's your fault. You need to take responsibility for that. Here's who it matters for: the financial class themselves and boomers.
I'm a millennial.
Don't care. We have continued to suffer for their indulgence. They can figure it out. They're well acquainted with working hard, pulling themselves up by the bootstraps, and going into a job, giving a firm handshake. So that's who it matters for. If you're young and you care, you think, oh no, red, bad, snap out of it. It's being implanted in your head.
Wow.
It doesn't... I don't know what else to say. If you think these things actually equate to real value for real people, we just view...
Define real people.
Things fundamentally different. I see slop.
I can see
I see
behind
a
you,
fake
bro.
economy. I see artificially inflated assets. I am happy to see it.
That's valid. This is like the first only singular valid thing that he just stated here. Inflated assets, absolutely. Definitely. But inflated because the government printed a gigantic amount of money, guys. Right? That's why it's inflated. But either way.
I see artificially inflated assets. I am happy to see it burn. Generation Z has been boned from the beginning. There has been no real path to building wealth for young people. Now, I'm all about having a good attitude, taking responsibility.
Okay. Valid.
Keeping yourself accountable, not making excuses, but there is a reality, and the reality has to be confronted and accepted, and this is that we've been boned. Under endless inflation, which we have had, you cannot save money because it constantly loses value. So the game becomes to take the money and put it into assets while they are purchasable, while they are affordable, while they're at a good price, as fast as possible, because they will, for the most part, endlessly appreciate under the endless inflation with some dips, but they will appreciate
Yes.
indefinitely. The problem is that Gen Z was locked out of this game from the start. Toddlers when '08 happened, just entering the workforce when 2020 happened. Unless you're like a zillennial, maybe that's a little different. There's no entry for us. We can't afford anything. The cost of living rapidly approaches the average income, especially after 2020. And we're just told to work harder by older people. They can lose all their money. I don't care. Why would I care? Oh no, the line went down. It doesn't mean anything. The economy is fake and slop. The jobs are fake. Surveys are done. Half of people can't even conceive what their job does, why it means anything. Oh,
Yeah, this is just a different type of generational person, bro. Okay, like listen, don't get me wrong here. Now he's actually starting to sound a little bit coherent. Okay, yeah, you guys were locked out from the beginning. That's the reality of the situation here. But the beauty of that is that your boomer parents are still alive, grandparents still alive, great grandparents for some people, right? And you know who's going to get everything? You guys. Okay, so it's already set up specifically for the boomers to expire, and then what's going to happen is that they're going to leave everything to the youngest generation. Okay? And guess who's going to now walk into a gigantic amount of positive equity because your grandparent or great grandparents purchased their house for 16 popsicle sticks, and now that house is worth $2 million. Congratulations! I hear you complaining, right? But you're specifically going to be the recipient of a gigantic amount of property on Earth. Oh, things are getting more expensive. I understand that. We all understand that, guys, right? But please believe the government has printed a gigantic amount of money, which then in return, right, made everything more expensive. You have a problem? Have the Federal Reserve and the White House stop printing money. Oh, we can't? Then listen, bro, what are you complaining about? Life is unfortunately going to life in this context.
I'm a project manager. Okay, what do you do? Well, we like create an
And oh yeah, this is what I was trying to point out here. He seems to be worried a lot about the job itself. There were a lot of people who did not care about that, specifically your grandparents, the ones who are going to give you their houses, right? They didn't. They went to work because they knew they had to work to take care of their family. This person here is caring about the actual effect of the job they're doing. I'm not really sure that's a, there's much validity in that, specifically when it comes down to taking care of their family. But again, these are the least married generation. But what is it, by 2030 there's just going to be like no marriages or a lot less of them. They're not even marrying each other, brother. They don't even like each other. This is where this culture war, this gender-based culture war is kind of happening here, guys. They don't even like Gen Z. Doesn't even like Gen Z, bro.
Face in which the team can work more efficiently towards bringing people together in a cohesive it's like, I'll tell you what your job is. It's adult daycare. It's the fake job to bridge the fake money to the people so they don't crash out, and just to keep it going, to keep the slop going. Some people might say this is just a loser, low IQ position. Oh, you're just a brokey, so you want to pull everyone down with you.
Kinda.
Nah, not
Kinda.
really. I'm actually a bright, handsome young man.
Okay.
I could probably best you at a competition of speed, mathematics, or a lot of times the fake jobs even make the most money.
Right.
The connection to real value has been severed.
That's true.
Green charts does not mean your life is better. Does not mean civilization is better. It's slop. It means nothing. Young people are bone from the start. There's no way most people can afford a house. Even if they make six figures, you can't even buy a house with six figures. It used to be, oh, you're rich if you made six figures. Young people are living in their cars and shit. It used to be homeless people were all like drug addicts, schizophrenics. They had to have real problems. Now, if you're a young person, you just came across a little bit of misfortune, you don't have a great support system, like you can't live with your parents or mooch off some sort of relative, you're still working, you're not like a colossal up, You're not doing. You work and you can't afford a place to live. That's how it works. Because it is that bad.
You're right.
We did get there. Everything is so inflated. But economists say that's good. But no, the economists say that it's actually bad because when the market falls, the aggregate demand, the Keynesian economics, it requires constant inflation, the GDP grows. Shut the up. Shove it up your ass. So
okay, but what you just said, you kind of validated it, guys. But you know what? Let's let him Gen Z out for a second.
The model of constant inflation that we've adopted for the last century, where now young people, it is a pipe dream for them to ever afford a house.
Guys, listen, in terms of the constant inflation is an absolute great thing for economics, period. The problem is that there's so many people going to college specifically for the same exact thing. They're now stuck within like a cyclical loop, let's say, of student debt while not being able to get a job because you had 200 people in your class for the same exact class getting the same exact degree. And you get what I'm saying here? And there are multiple colleges around the country that are sitting there flooding the markets with the same exact thing because they're getting money, but you're getting boned, in his word here, guys, right? Then while fighting for a job that's going to pay you, what, $55,000 to $60,000 a year, knowing all well here, if you want to get the median price income house, it's going to require you to make $116,000 household income between you and your partner, if that's how you choose to live your life, at least, right? Now, with what, like a $80,000 in cash down payment that cannot be loaned from anyone else type of thing, you get what I mean? Like, it's a problem here, guys. I get it. I hear what he's saying here. Some of it is moderately valid, but we cannot sit here and throw the country under the bus because you're Gen Z and you have like Gen Z angst.
Real estate is in the hands of massive corporate investors. That's good. That's good. High GDP. Good. With a Keynesian model, the Gerbian model indicates that I should roundhouse kick you in the mouth. You're a moron. Economy is a fake science. I don't care. Oh, an economist said this. An economist, they're studying the economy, the charts, the graphs. They're super smart. Here's what I hear when you say an economist. Oh, so a retard said this. Oh, so there's this, hear me out. There's this charlatan who went and he got his degree in slop. He's got this opinion that contradicts everything you're seeing with your own two eyes. You got to listen to this guy. You'll change my ears are just perked up ready to hear this economist. Now, look, I'm trying to be entertaining. I'm trying to project out the Zoomer soul, the Zoomer perspective. The way I feel, I'm not that smart. Economics is a science of statistic contrivances to prove a result that was already decided upon. The Gerbian model suggests that I plant in your house because when you get rid of the aggregate it actually everything gets better. It's very simple. People will turn to alternate theories, different ways of looking at things, when what you told them works and is right very clearly doesn't work, and they're still suffering and struggling. Constant inflation has proven to Generation Z that it does not work. The rubber's starting to hit the road here with that whole idea. Young people can't save money. Even if they could, it would be inflated away.
Okay.
They have no path forward to own anything. They're in perpetual debt slavery. And the economist...
No, you're not. You're not. The problem is that Gen Z specific... Guys, we're done with this video. The problem that seems to happen, at least, that Gen Z seems to live exclusively for the experiences. They seem to kind of live within the concept of doom spending. They're looking, again, they grew up on social media, guys. Right? All they are doing consistently in their life, all their wants and needs and desires are exclusively created and fostered, let's say, by other people on social media. Okay? So you're trying to be someone that... Listen, when these like older like boomers, when they say blatantly, "Hey, listen, guys, you only care about luxuries," it really is that. It's Like every single thing you're spending your money on is legitimately a luxury compared to what the boomers had that are going to leave you all their property. Okay, and you can get that for free. Well, semi-free. You get what I'm saying here, taxes. Yeah. But but the point is here, guys, you're making excuses. All right, you're making excuses. Now, don't get me wrong here. Again, it's the salaries are not amazing compared to what the requires, let's say. But again, due to social media, right? You want to you have to live in that city, right? Do you have to live in that city? Like there are so many cheap places where you could buy a house. Like, have you ever, guys? Let me break the game down for you. Okay. Oh, I'm a Gen Zer. I make, I don't know, like $2,000, $3,000 a month. Okay. What I do, if I had to start over my entire life right now, let me tell you the game right now. Get a pen. Okay. I would immediately, and I mean immediately, live in my car. Okay. I'm telling you this right now. I would do this. I would save as much as humanly possible. I would work as much as humanly possible wherever. I don't care where it is. All right. I would go to landwatch.com where they literally give you the ability, let's say, to owner finance land. Okay. What, a half an acre, whatever it is. And a lot of these land is absolutely dirt cheap. I'm talking about like less than like $100, $200 or so for a month, for on a monthly seller finance type of contract, no credit check type of thing. I'm not using no banks. I'm getting the piece of land in the middle of literally nowhere. All right. Hopefully it's near some type of, I don't know, like maybe 20 miles away from a store or somewhere that I can literally work and make money. As long as I make more than what the gas, the insurance, and and the land basically costs, I'm fine. I will do this until I pay everything off. Then move on. I'll start most likely. What am I doing here next? Wait. Okay. Live in a car. I would do land. I would do it just like that. I would try my hardest to make more money, get a better job, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Right. And more money could literally mean $2,000 a month. In that scenario, you're able to save a lot more. Okay. Stop chasing the luxuries. Okay. Save up about 10, 20, 30,000 of these dollars here. You're going to be doing this for a couple of years by yourself, right? Do that, and it's the simplest thing in the world. The next stage is to now go and get a seller finance house, no bank. Oh, I can't the reason why they can't get houses because they can't get approved for the houses. They can't afford them. The only way you can get approved for a house technically is by going through, let's say, seller finance, where your credit is moderately good, let's say, and then you have the entry capital to actually purchase a house. Seller finance. Stop chasing the cities. Maybe it's time to move somewhere else. You get what I'm saying here? You can go buy a house. You just don't want the house that you can buy because it doesn't look good on social media. That's the reality. It doesn't look good on social media. Like seller finance or owner finance the land, seller finance, owner finance, let's say, the actual property itself, right? These are not hard procedures here. Like the amount of houses that I've purchased within my life specifically under seller finance, I've only had one house ever out of the 11 houses that I currently own. All right. I've only had one house that went through a bank, and the rest of them are all seller finance, owner finance, that type of thing here. No banks. And only thing that's required legitimately is the entry fee. Like that's how you do it. Like stop playing the game. You see, he seems to understand the game the government plays, the financial industry plays. So then why not do it the way that other people do it, let's say? And I've learned exactly how they do it. And how they do it is owner finance and seller finance with a small entry fee compared to the full value of the property. Everything's held in escrow. Everything's done through some type of licensing company. I've done every single deal that I have done was done through a lawyer's office. Specifically, everything is legitimate, right? But no banks are involved, bro. None. Why not? Why are people not doing this? Like it's not the hardest thing in the world. You can find seller finance groups on Facebook that you can just join. There are thousands of people in there trading houses every single day, bro. All right, trading them like they're Pokemon cards, guys. But all right, keep complaining. All right, keep wondering why you're struggling. All right, keep doing all of these things. Keep complaining. Have fun with that, bro. But all right, listen, guys, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly.